Good morning, welcome everybody to the next roundtable. Congratulations and thank you, Albert, and all the Global LegalTech team for another marvelous edition of this event. I want to welcome you to our roundtable titled Legal Ops and a Paradox, Liberation or Burnout. We are living a moment of deep transformation in legal world. AI is changing everything now. It's no longer just a future promise, it's already working in our daily day. It's changing how legal teams operate, how decisions are made, and how value is delivered. Legal operations plays a key role on this shift. It's not only about technology. We are talking about improving efficiency, leading change, managing complexity, building smart legal departments. But with all this potential comes a question. Is really AI helping us, or is adding a new pressure? To explore this paradox, I'm pleased to welcome two understanding legal leaders. First, Zahori Martínez. She's General Counsel in Siemens Mobility Spain. She's a Spanish and Mexican lawyer with 20 years of experience in the infrastructure sector. She has developed a strategic vision that combines legal expertise with focus on people, innovation, technology, and continuous improvement. She collaborates with no-profit organizations, serves as VP of the Association of Boston Studies, and also acts as co-leader of the Tech Forum of the Spanish Association, GLAW, which promotes talent within gender and generation. Next to her, it's Marjorie. She's General Counsel and Compliance Officer in Essendi area, formerly Invest, based in Madrid with more than 20 years in the hotel and real estate sector. In addition to her core responsibilities, Marjorie has driven legal transformation and innovation in the Essendi Group since 2020, aligning legal services and evolving needs of the hospitality sector. As forward-thinking legal leader, Marjorie also leads cross-functional technology projects, particularly focused on AI implementation and data management across the legal function in Europe. Welcome, you two. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the warm welcome, and also thank you to the organization for having me here. Maybe, and it's a pleasure to be together with you.
Thank you. Marjorie?
I think that we can start, no? I think that everyone is here, and nice to see. It's always a little bit a pity that we don't know exactly what is the profile of the audience. But we can interact now because we don't have mic. You don't have mic. I think with the questions we can exchange and maybe give more detail.
Okay, let's go. And then the first topic. AI doesn't plug in and work. It demands so much, no? In your opinion, Zahori, what's the most important factors to consider when deciding to implement AI?
I will say that the most important factors that we have when we talk about artificial intelligence lead us to go to the fundamentals. We need to talk to the fundamentals to adopt any technology. I mean, right now we're talking about digital transformation, but as an in-house leader, we need to go with a methodology. So what do we need? First is a methodology that it's going to make me analyze where am I, how mature is my department with respect to the different aspects that I need to take into account. After, I need to identify which are the things or the problems that I consider that I need to solve and which are the focus areas that I want to work on. Then I need to go in depth. I need to map and choose and prioritize. I need to prioritize which one of these problems are going to give me more impact, are going to be easy to solve, and how difficult they are going to be. And then, of course, you know that the next stage will be to make a pilot and to launch the pilot and the implementation. But I would like to highlight in this first factor, which is the methodology, two very important things. First is that many times, and Marjorie, you are going to possibly agree with me, we are rushing in time. And we need to spend a lot of time on identifying and analyzing the problem. Because one of the main mistakes that we can commit is to go crazy, identify all the technologies that are ongoing, and start to think as from that point what they are going to solve for me. I have all these thousands of technologies, how they are going to solve my problem. And that is not the way to think it. I need to understand which is my problem and then to choose the technology that adapts more to that. And this sounds great, it sounds logic, but do we have the time to go through all this methodology to really spend time? But we should spend time. And the second factor in this topic is the alignment with the business. It is important that all the problems that I need to solve is not only because the legal department needs it, but it's also because this is going to have an impact on the business. And there are two additional factors or aspects for the implementation. One additional one is the mindset. We need a mindset, we need a culture, and we need to focus on the people. For me, it's totally key that the people is in the center. And I'm talking about the people, not only about the legal team members, I'm talking about the business, because we're business partners, so we need to take into account. I'm talking about the stakeholders, the different providers that gives you that. So if we have a mindset, if we have a methodology, and if we understand clearly which are the benefits, I think that those are key aspects to get a good implementation.
Very interesting. It's not just a tech upgrade. No, it's a deep organizational change that involves so much more than the people could think, and more than made a payment. No, Marjorie, what do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with Zahori, and I think that in the real life, the decision to use AI, in fact, we have already CEOs and executive committee telling us, well, when do you implement AI in legal, no, or in the, they want to, well, to tell that the company is using AI because it's, well, now competitive advantage, and they don't really understand what are the consequences, what should be the budget, what should be the method, the timeline you need. So it's like, can you implement the AI in 2 weeks? Yeah, of course. So it's a problem of people, of culture. In Essendi, we are not a technology company, so it's a question of maturity of people, of our executives, and it's a lot of training and a lot of awareness and communication. So I would say that, well, maybe I have an anecdote that is quite funny to highlight the issue of the maturity in terms of technology in the company. We implement a really simple tool for the lawyers, and they tested it after implementing it and all the time we need, because there is always issue with technology. One lawyer of the team tell me, we have a big problem. It's not working at all. Your tool is not working at all. And it was like, okay, what is the problem? No? Well, in fact, I tested it with a colleague and we asked the same thing and we don't have the same answer. So, okay, but what exactly? Well, yeah, we don't have the same answer. So show me the answers. And in fact, it was GenAI. We know that the technology, in fact, GenAI, they won't never answer you in the same way. So I was like, but it's the content is okay, no? Yes. But, well, this is an issue. And I had to explain that, no, it's the technology is like that. If the content and the answer is right, legally speaking, it's okay. The tool is working. So the issue is the people and the maturity for implementation. It's really, really important to start before the technology, I think. And the second point is that, in general, people won't realize that we are all using AI in a lot of tools that we have already. So it's, well, just you need to make an inventory, I would say, or to realize that you are using AI and how to use it for your own use cases. But AI is everywhere today.
I thought that we are talking about so much things that do not only are technology, rethink workflows, redefine roles, revisit the culture. I think that very good points that we are talking about. And let's move to the next topic. And it's connected to what you were talking, Marjorie, about the reality, And then when you implement AI and when you have technology in your organization, it is supposed to free us from repetitive tasks, promise a better future. Yet many legal teams report increased pressure to deliver faster and better and with fewer resources. Now is the other phase of implementing AI. Is this a liberation or really it's a new form of burnout? As is tradition, in your department, what's the feel in your team?
They are not really, well, I think we created a lot of expectation with AI, a lot of expectation for the company, because they look at us like, yeah, you will be really more efficient. So, well, please, the productivity should increase. And from the team, I think that, they thought, maybe I can go to the swimming pool and free up my time with the AI. And it's not the case. I think that the issue is talking about efficiency with AI today, because I think it's a question of maturity of the technology and maturity of people. Because if you talk about efficiency, AI will only replace our, I would say, burnout that we have today in terms of volume of work. It will be the same, because you just increase efficiency and you are in the same vicious circle that you will have the same burnout, because you have more volume of work. I think that it's really important to maybe focus on the balancing your task between AI and the task that we need judgment and empathy, and that's what we need a human, a human in the loop. So today, talking about efficiency is really complicated. We talked about that before, to prove that there is some efficiency today, because we have hallucination, we have it's quite costly. I think that if we talk about efficiency, we will only have this paradox for a lot of years more. So I think we have to talk more about the balance between tasks that technology can do and that we need a lawyer, a human one, and that obviously it won't replace us, because we have a lot to do and to give, in terms of lawyers as human.
What do you think, Zahori?
Yeah, and let me share with you something. When we were preparing this table, we were discussing about if it was one, if it was other one. And one thing that I really like that Marjorie said is that we are already in a burnout. Yeah. So you have heard about VUCA. I'm not going to tell you something new. VUCA is a word that has been, the first time that it was used was 40 years ago. 40 years ago. This concept has evolved. Now we're talking about money. Now we're talking about more complexity and no linear evolution. Yeah. So we're already in a moment where there's a lot of different communication channels that we have, and there is a lot of information that we need to understand, to read, to analyze. So we're already in a situation where our capacity, we are extremely intelligent. The machines have not reached that super intelligence that everyone is talking about. But yet, we don't have that capacity that the machines have about processing those quantities of information. So we need to be aware that right now we're not talking about, do I need to use it or I don't? No, we need to use it. The thing is how we're going to use it. Because if you see all the statistics of the percentage, they say that more than the 50% are already using it. How? Doesn't matter, but they are using it. And in the future, there is not going to be any professional or any person that use it in your personal life. You already use it for choosing a restaurant, for having, recommendations about for holidays, whatever. So we already need it. We already need it, and we need to learn how to use it. And there's another thing. I don't know if you have kids, nephews, nieces, whatever, if you have made this reflection. What do I need to use in a very productive way the artificial intelligence? What capabilities do I need to really use it? And that's, for me, the key question. Because, yes, it is a paradox, because right now we need to spend time on continuous learning. That is something that I think that it's key in the companies. That it's promote that the employees have a constant and regular learning and a habit to learn everything and dedicate time in their agendas, like part of the work, to learn, to test, to try the technologies. Otherwise, the complete companies are going to stay behind. So the continuous learning is very important in order to avoid that burnout. And we need to understand this is a learning curve, like every other technology, like every other thing. I was remembering that ChatGPT is going to get the third anniversary, only 3 years. In these last 3 years, we have seen so many things, and it has been a revolution. So yes, just to conclude, for me, it's not a burnout. It can look like a burnout because we don't have time to, but it reminds me a lot this image of these two cavemen, where one of them is showing the wheel, the circular wheel, and the other is, no, I don't have time, and because we never have time. So we need to find the time for that.
And that's only the beginning, no? We are starting to learn what AI can change everything. Reconfigure teams, factions, roles, training. We just had so much things that we need more than technology when we think in implement AI in our organizations. And I thought the most important thing is how the role of the lawyer is changing in this new digital era, no? What do you think how is the lawyer profile evolving in this new environment? What skills are becoming essential? How the organizational structures adapting to integrate them? What do you think, Zahori?
What I think is that we are not the lawyer that we used to be. We shouldn't. And if someone has not understand that, is losing a lot of time. You know that they have seen this different perspective about how to see a lawyer, the T-shaped lawyer, the O lawyer, the triangle lawyer. But all these models have in common something. All of them part from the base that we need to have a profound knowledge of legal. That is no doubt. We need to have it. And then there is additional things that we need to put into that cocktail. We need to know about technology. We need to know about how to handle data. We need to learn about how to apply the project management to the legal project management, or apply methodologies like legal design, or whatever. Everything that you like to put, that's an addition, and that's important to have. And the capabilities for me, if I will have to say one or two, I will say critical thinking. It's a basic capability. But there is a problem that we are living. And I will come back to the question that I made before, if you have kids, nieces or nephews. Have you thought how my kids is going to get critical thinking if they will have at hand all this technology and they will not, is he or is she going to read the same as me, to comprehend, to understand, to write the same as me? I don't know. What do we need to do? And this applies to children, but it's applied to our team, to the people that it's coming out from the universities, how they are going to preserve these capabilities if the technology sometimes give you everything done and you avoid to do those things that was generating that critical thinking without it. And moreover, I recently read an article from David Hurtado from Microsoft. I really like to follow him. And he was saying something very interesting, which is those actions that allow me to develop capabilities are not going to be paid the same in the market. So if the market is not paying me for looking for the jurisprudence, analyze it, and that helps me to develop the critical thinking, why I'm going to do it, right? So it is something that we really need to think, because those capabilities make us to use the AI, the Gen AI, in a proper way, and not just to create things without criteria. How many content is being created right now by the artificial intelligence already? And if we don't have criteria, we are not going to polish our work. We're only going to create content without purpose, without value, and with mistakes, I would say.
Important is mistakes to learn, no? What do you think, Marjorie?
Well, I think Zahori is totally right. I would say that maybe because lawyers, we are really thinking about excellence and perfection, and we cannot deliver a work late or with some errors. I think that we really need to accept imperfections and error, and because those tools needs patience today, and I see it a lot. No, I cannot trust this tool because it will the quality of my work will decrease. I think that it's really important to explain that to the lawyers. Maybe it's not really quality we have, but to be a manager of the AI, and we need to manage and to have an assistant, it's AI assistant, and we have to manage someone. But the lawyers, we are not so really expert in technology that today I think this is something we really need to understand how it works, because if you understand how it works, you can accept those errors and spend time to understand how to improve the output. So we need to understand the technology behind, and not only for us, but for the business, because we have a lot of risks and to manage, and legal implications, of course. And the second one is to learn to manage the AI, to accept to maybe have a decrease of the quality at some point, just to improve after that. And I think it's really important. And without forgetting the business, obviously, it's not only an AI, as you said before, for legal, and the legal department should be totally closed as before. No, in the past we were like in Iceland, but to share it with the business, obviously.
How important at this moment is sharing experiences and all these things that you were telling us about how implementing AI? I thought that so much people have the same experience, the same fears, and it's a trial for everybody how find the key for the success in implementation. I don't know if we have helped someone, but I thought it's very useful and I have a great value, your experience and your sharings. And I want to thank you so much, you both, for joining us today. Okay, thank you, Marjorie. Thank you, Zahori. It's a great pleasure having you today. Congratulations to Albert and all the organization for another edition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.